All right, let's dive into one of Sanskrit literature's absolute gems, Kalidasa's Meghadutam, which literally means the cloud messenger. It's this incredible, timeless story about love, about longing, and a message sent by, well, the most unusual postman you could ever imagine. So let's just get right to it. Can a cloud actually become a messenger? I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, right? Almost like something out of a fantasy. But when you're desperate, when your heart is just aching with longing, well, sometimes the craziest idea is the only hope you've got. Okay, so our story kicks off in this heavenly city called Alaka, way up near the Himalayas. Picture it. Our main guy is a Yaksha. Think of him as a kind of nature spirit. And he works for Kubera, the god of wealth. Life is good. He's got this amazing life with his wife who he adores. But you know how these stories go. All that happiness is about to come crashing down. So the Yaksha's life just gets completely turned upside down. On one hand, you have his life back in Alaka, total bliss, living with his wife, serving the god Kubera. Perfect. But then there's the after. He has this one slip-up, a moment where he neglects his duties, and his boss, Kubera, is absolutely furious. The punishment? He's banished, exiled to this remote place, Ramgiri mountain, all by himself. And for how long, you ask? A whole year. One full year. We're talking 12 months of being completely cut off from the love of his life. For anyone who's ever been in love, you know that's an absolute eternity. So as you can imagine, this exile just breaks him. He's plunged into this deep, agonizing grief. He can barely function, can't eat, can't sleep. His entire world, every single thought, is just consumed by memories of his wife. It all starts with this deep, profound sadness. It's just a constant heavy weight on his soul, like a storm cloud that just won't go away. And that sadness, it doesn't just sit there. It starts to churn and fester, turning into this constant distress. He's restless, he's anxious, just totally tormented by every single memory. But really, at the heart of it all is this crushing, overwhelming feeling of being completely and utterly alone. And what's worse is that he's surrounded by all this beautiful nature, rivers, flowers, birds, but instead of bringing him comfort, every single thing just screams of her, a painful reminder of everything he's lost. He's just drowning in this sorrow. And then, one day, the monsoon season starts. Something changes. He looks up and he sees this huge, dark rain cloud drifting by. And right then, in that moment of total desperation, this wild, absolutely brilliant idea sparks in his mind. He decides the cloud is going to be his duta. Now, that word is super important. A duta isn't just a mailman, it's more like a special envoy, someone you trust with a really vital mission. He's thinking, wait a minute, this cloud travels between the earth and the heavens. So could it? Could it possibly travel all the way from my lonely mountain to her in Alaka? And so he does it. He starts talking to the cloud, pleading with it, using the most beautiful, poetic language you can imagine. He doesn't just give it a message either. Nope. He gives it a full-on, detailed travel itinerary for an absolutely epic journey. And the route he maps out, it's basically a stunning lyrical tour of ancient India. This is really where you see Kalidasa's genius just explode on the page. He's not just listing off directions. He's telling the cloud which mountains to rain on, which rivers to stop at for a drink, which cities to look down upon. He describes every single landmark with such incredible detail that the journey itself becomes this breathtaking poem inside the main poem. It's just amazing. And the final destination of this incredible trip is, of course, his wife. The way he describes her to the cloud is just heartbreakingly tender. He pictures her, sad and waiting, probably grown thin from grief, just counting every single moment until he can return. So, after all that, what's the actual message? What does he want the cloud to say? Well, it's a message of comfort, a message of endurance, and most importantly, a message of hope. The core of it is this. He wants the cloud to give her courage, to tell her, hey, I know this hurts, but this separation, it's temporary. We will be reunited soon. He needs her to know that their reunion is a certainty and that his love hasn't faded one bit. It's as strong as it's ever been. No, obviously, the cloud doesn't talk back. I mean, it's a cloud. But you know what? It doesn't even matter. Just the act of doing this, of sending his love and his hope out into the universe, it actually works. It lifts his spirits. He feels a sense of peace, just believing that somehow, some way, his message is going to get to her. And that's pretty much where the poem leaves us, with the Yaksha waiting, but now he's filled with hope. So what is it about this story? What makes this seemingly simple poem a masterpiece that people have been obsessed with for more than 1,500 years? Well, its power is all in its themes, which are just so timeless. Kalidasa is a master at capturing what's known in Sanskrit as viraha, and this isn't just being sad. It's that deep, physical ache you feel when you're separated from someone you love, a profound longing. Plus, the way he writes about nature was totally groundbreaking. He treats the cloud, the rivers, the mountains like they're actual characters, not just background scenery. It all just taps into emotions that are completely universal to all of us. It's because of this incredible emotional depth and poetic genius that Meghadutam is seen as the absolute best of its kind, the most beautiful poem about separation in all of Sanskrit literature. It's really the perfect example of Kalidasa's brilliance and why it's still considered a true masterpiece of world literature. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought, one that feels just as real today as it did back then. I mean, think about it. In our world of instant messages and video calls, does love still have what it takes to overcome huge physical distances? This ancient poem kind of pushes us to remember that profound ache of just not being there. And it asks, do we still believe that love can truly conquer any distance?